Hey there, everybody. Pete here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to a quick little introduction for those of you who might be new to the channel. That I do have a second channel that is also co-hosted by my good friend over here, Mr. Wild Bill. It's called Comic Book Geezers, as you can see here. So if you are someone who maybe is
into comics,
and we're talking older comics, we're talking stuff from the 60s, from the 70s, maybe a little bit from the 80s, the vintage stuff.
Silver, Bronze Age,
yes,
Copper.
Yes, yeah. Silver, copper, bronze.
Copper's what, the 90s? We stopped pretty much in the 90s.
Yeah. So the old stuff, the classic stuff.
It was. Hello, Sea of Tranquility fans.
Yes.
Music fans. What's up? I've known Pete for a long time. We were college buddies, and about 2016, I got back into buying comics at a flea market, and I told him about it. And Pete and I were both into comics in our college days. We found that we had that in common, and so he got back into buying comics. So I kind of it's a disease.
Yes, the curse is real, folks. Just like we talked about
like
in music. Yeah, just like music and movies.
Comics
are
food,
a curse,
right?
Yes,
beer.
Yes, it's a curse.
So I told him about comics and this flea market I went to. So anyway, long story short, he gets back into comics. I got back into comics stopped buying for 20 years, 25 years.
Yeah.
And a year later, Pete approaches me and asks me if I want to co-host a comic book show. He's thinking about doing another. I'm like, dude, you're so busy with Sea of Tranquility, and now you want to take on another YouTube show?
I'm a glutton for punishment. Why not? Sure.
So he thought that it would be a good idea if I co-hosted with him because of our friendship and everything and our interest in comics. And I thought it was a good idea, so I went along with the invitation. So here we are 4 years later. He didn't have a good name for the show. I forgot. He had a couple of... I forgot, man. I should have wrote them down.
Yeah,
they were bad. But he had a couple of names that weren't catchy, and I thought of the name Comic Book Geezers, but it's very hard to name a comic book show for YouTube and use the word comic book as the first two words as the name of your show with it. Your third word's going to be taken, most likely.
Most likely. But we figure, at the time, we were both early 50s.
Yeah.
And a few years later, that's changed a little
I was
bit.
like 52, I think, when you approached me, and I was like, well... why don't we call it Comic Book Geezers? And he typed it in and it stuck. It wasn't taken. It's like, yeah, it sounds all right. Like, I don't feel like a geezer, but it's a name we can grow into.
Yeah. So here we are, hundreds of videos later. We've shown all sorts of cool old classic books. We open them up. We talk about them. We show them. We do...
We'll talk about the artists. Like, this one is Bernie Wrightson, who just passed away like 4 years ago. Yeah. And since his passing, his books are going up. Other guys like Ernie Chen, who worked for both companies, Marvel and DC.
Yep.
Both of these guys.
We talk about John Kirby all the time.
We'll talk about character or comics that have turned into movies.
Yep.
Things like that.
We do the film reviews. We go on site at conventions, and we go to comic book stores and shoot videos there.
We've done offbeat topics like Gary Larson, The Far Side.
Wacky packages. Yep. So
different things. Collectibles. Pete's done a couple of videos of his man cave with his statues and stuff.
Yep.
So there's a lot of variety with comics, and if you like comics, it's another channel you might like, Comic Book Geezers, so give it a shot.
Yeah, and it's not just us all the time, it's us most of the time, but Kirk Manning, who you guys have seen on The Monsters Den a couple times, he also comes on the show pretty regularly.
The Comic Book Geezer guru.
He's our guru, yeah. He's as much as we own and much as we know, he's on
never be Kirk.
He's on a different level. So he's on here frequently as well. We've even had Chris Allo and Rich Catino from Sea of Tranquility on here a couple times in the past too. So it's a lot of fun. So basically what we're asking everybody is if you have not checked out Comic Book Geezers, please come on over to the Comic Book Geezers channel and give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and we usually publish videos every Wednesday and Friday morning, so twice a week right now. Hopefully at some point.
And we've got a pretty big playlist.
Yeah, so it's the same setup. So we got playlists that show like all the Marvel stuff, all the DC
pretty much done
stuff.
Videos on every character that you can think of.
Yeah, and multiple stuff. So now lately what we've been doing the last couple months is a lot of inside the cover episodes where we actually go and open up and take you through
show and tell
the
story.
Yeah, so
it's like story time.
Yeah.
People seem to dig that. So
Yeah.
that was Pete's idea, and it's been going strong. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much it, gang. So come on over, check out Comic Book Geezers.
Yep. So please come over, subscribe, and enjoy some look at old comic book stuff. I am Pete for Wild Bill. See you guys real soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.